All right. Right now, I'm facing a kind of stress because I don't have cigarettes and I don't have my nicotine lozenges. But I want to practice my piano. And I want to do another one of these monologue things where I just talk about my thoughts. And maybe perhaps I'll feel more like enthusiastic about quitting, especially when I can see that this is what it does to my nerves. The nicotine, of course, is what they call it, nicking out. And maybe this music, maybe even practicing the piano, is somehow going to lead to more practicing piano, because it becomes catharsis, it becomes something and yeah, I feel like a lot of the time in life we've been really sold kind of a lie. And I'm not here to be negative about it or anything like that, because I feel that in order to get further in life, one has to accept where they are first. It's almost like, I guess, a really simplified version of explaining what I mean is that acceptance is like when you're playing soccer. When you play soccer, the best thing to do is not when you're moving the ball around, when you're passing it or you're trying to get it, move it across the field with your feet, which is harder than most people want to admit, especially under pressure. Then you stop it with your foot. When it gets kicked to you, you have to have a moment where you stop it and then you kick it with the side of your foot to the next person. You pass it in a way that's controlled. And I feel that acceptance is almost like stopping that ball for a second, looking around and being like, okay, this is where I'm at. And then you move forward. It's not like admitting defeat, if we're going to use the same kind of metaphor for a soccer scrimmage or a game or something like that. It's not like giving up and admitting and just stopping moving at all. It's more like stopping the ball so that you can stop and then move forward, knowing that you are calm, collected, and you have evaluated the field. You're not just going off of instinct, right? Because I think most people are kind of going off of instinct, where they don't think about things. They're always in their head, afraid about something. That's why I think there's a lot of people out there who just kind of, I've seen this phenomenon where they just, it's almost like they copy quotes from television programs that they've seen. essentially coming up with, they've created almost a network, a fabric of quotes from TV shows and pieces of media on YouTube, and they're not, deliberately using their mind to think of new possibilities in any conversation or scenario. So they're kind of like waiting for the next hit of instruction or direction from, their media or their culture or their friends or whatever kind of authority figure, they follow. And whatever. I mean, it is difficult to be creative and to improvise. That's why I think there's a video that I said a while back. I didn't really find a way to properly, explain or articulate myself, but I think I'm getting closer to it now. I think that the idea of jazz is that it's improvisational. If you got sea legs, which is that, I'm pretty sure you understand the terminology of sea legs. On a boat, on a raft, on whatever vessel you happen to be on, unless you're sitting down. Sea legs is the ability to hold your composure while the boat is rocking back and forth. And I think that adaptability that that you have is one of the smartest, one of the most intelligent forms of capabilities, attributes, skills. One of the best skills you can have is not to freak out when the world presents you with different information, when the world tries to throw a curveball at you, or you're on the ocean and it's rocking back and forth and it's undulating and there's no way of knowing where it's going to go next. You've got to somehow be comfortable with not being able to control where the boat goes. So you kind of just let go of control. The more a person tries to exert control over that situation where you're the best improvisation as far as jazz goes is your ability to just roll with the punches, to be able to accept what's going on around you, to stop the ball, to look around, to gauge where you are, but not to think about it, not to get lost in the chaos of the moment. But to allow the moment and you to be one. Don't separate yourself from the universe around you. You're very much a part of the universe, and you're very much a part of the ocean itself. And the soccer game is a game within you. Because, anyways, I'm getting off track, and like I usually do, but the best thing, I guess, it's improvisation happens when you get back on your horse as quickly as possible. If that's a game that you want to win, do it now. Get back on your horse. Don't dwell. Don't throw a hissy fit. Don't throw a tantrum. Don't get mad. Don't get lost in emotions. Don't dwell. Don't dwell on something and how things should be and how the world wronged you or whatever. Just get to the next place, right? And it's not like I really care whether or not you are able to do this, but the less you conform to how you're supposed to react by society standards, and how, you know, someone who will essentially be useful in any situation like that. It took a long time to get around to this point that I was trying to say. I made a video a long time ago, and it was called Jazz is the Universe, I think, or Jazz the Universe or something. You know, Jazz the Universe, because jazz is improvisation. Jazz is not knowing what to do, but jumping in both feet forward and allowing yourself to swim. It's like jumping into or getting thrown into the deep end when you're a kid to see if you can swim. You know, you eventually are able to allow that moment to be as it is and not try to change it, not be a barrier in between your ability to relax and just like, cause what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna look stupid for 10 seconds and then move on. I think the idea of being embarrassed, of like not knowing what you're doing, I mean, when you realize that most people think that you're cooler than they are somehow, they either think that or they think that you're a threat to them, so they have to like externalize that you're stupid or something, or that you're not doing it right, you're not, you know, that's them freaking out. That's them being the antithesis of jazz. And that jazz is being like hearing fucking someone making crazy noise music and then not like thinking, wow, that's absolute garbage. The real jazz comes when, and take this with a grain of salt, this is someone talking about the real jazz that happens to be Caucasian and living in Canada. But in my opinion, which you can take with a grain of salt again, true jazz is hearing that noise music, or hearing even the noise of passersby and cars and sounds and the soundscapes of the city, the soundscapes of the country, and just allowing that to be like your own improvisational backing track, your inspiration, and being like, you know what, I like it, that's cool, I can feel that because I know that I am a part of that scenario, and I can participate, or I can fight it and not accept it. And what do we know about war? War is the non-acceptance. To me, I think if you were to say jazz wars, that would be almost on oxymoronic or paradoxical, because the best way to adapt to any situation is to mitigate harm, and it's to lift other people up, it's to empower others, not to, you know, and obviously sometimes certain things have to be done, but I think jazz is a very peaceful, joyous, you know, reveling in the moment. It's a dance. It's a dance with this chaos. No longer seeing it as your enemy, but seeing it as your canvas, right? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think the universe is a total, like, the only control you have over this world is when you accept it exactly the way it is. Once you do that, once you stop this soccer ball, you paused for a moment to look around, like Ferris Bueller says, right? You pause, look around, gauge the surroundings, you realize we're in a sci-fi novel, basically. We're in a sci-fi movie, really. And you can make it as bleak, as depressing, as like lacking control as you want. But that really, the people who have the least amount of control are the people who try to control everything, if you understand what I mean. At least that's how I see it. I see people who constantly are looking to manipulate everyone around them. Those people don't get very far. Or they do, but their life is misery. But yeah, acceptance. I wish I could explain to those people that always look to control things that the most pure form of control and the cure to what ails you is accepting, is literally just not attaching yourself to what the way you think the world should be. You know, it's like the easiest way to describe it is to it's like people who hold grudges and they're prideful that they hold grudges. That's their problem. That's literally the reason why they feel like crap and why they can't find anyone for a meaningful amount of time to connect with, because they hold grudges. They want to win. They want to overturn that person's experience in their head. I don't know what's. I'm making it sound convoluted, but like, you know, this person didn't treat me the way I'm supposed to be treated. Therefore, I'm gonna let them live in my head rent free for the rest of eternity, and hopefully that is gonna be the one thing that makes me a better person somehow, or in control. I don't think it's about being a better person. I think it's about control. But the number one way of controlling the world, and the only way you can see it, the only way you can get past, you know, the conundrum that these people find themselves in, is saying, well, wow, okay, it's not like I'm trying to give this person any more benevolent, it's not like I'm trying to fucking help this person, I'm just helping myself, and I realize it's not fucking helping anyone, it's keeping me stuck, carrying on all this fucking baggage about other people and what the fuck they did. And once you realize that you can like move past that, you'll be like, oh my god, why didn't I do this sooner? Wow, I act like a total silly little girl when I'm so special, they didn't treat me the way I want to be treated. Oh well, you know, like who cares? You can laugh at it. I find out a lot of people that carry grudges, they can't really laugh at anything. They don't find anything funny. It's like, who's having a fun time, really? soccer ball. Give up trying to make this person into something that you can manipulate. And get your goals accomplished. You're capable. You are capable. The world is not stopping you. In fact, the world will help you in so many different ways get to where you want to be. As long as you gain that ultimate control. That's the way that you have to see it. Giving up control is the ultimate control. It's a paradox, but it works. Because both are true, right? Oh, well, both, it seems opposing, like an oxymoron, but it's true. Once you give up control of the entire cosmos, you're like, wow, I'm just going to roll with the punches. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, I can roll with the punches. I don't have to give a shit about stupid shit that doesn't matter. And then it's beautiful. And life's like, oh my god, everything has a sheen on it. Not Charlie Sheen. Not Martin Sheen. Maybe Martin Sheen, he's cool. But maybe Charlie Sheen's cool too. I don't know. I haven't met the guy. Fuck do I know? I don't know. Do whatever you want, but I'm gonna jazz hard as a motherfucker throughout the cosmos as we fly through on this rotating stone, molten, and watery and forested planet. We have so much resources at our disposal, which we do. We dispose everything. We throw it around, destroy it, make cheap bullshit that nobody wants, just because we want to have more stuff than other people. But Epictetus understood this. He's like, a rich man isn't someone who has a lot of stuff. A rich man is someone who has few wants, or is very specific about the things that he wants, and that's it. He doesn't just look at the world as like a candy store that he's gonna gorge himself on of everything, right? You only need a few specific things in order to make yourself happy, and then just be happy, and then just frolic, just do the thing that is gonna make you happy, not because it's getting you somewhere, but because that thing is the point, And I'm trying to explain this in words. I guess that's its own kind of jazz, as folk punk would allude to. But if you like this, please find the jazz within yourself. It's basically, the jazz is the force. Let's just put it that way. Reach out with your feelings, and jazz the universe. Alright, peace. Stay frosty is what I say.